I make a noise like this?
You son of a bitch.
I'm not back in 5 minutes. Just wait longer.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Threeskins Podcast. I am Lewis, and I'm joined with Matt and Greg. Introduce yourself, boys.
Yo!
Alright.
Alright, pilkers.
Before we start, all I'm going to say is make sure to follow us all on social media. My Twitter and Instagram is Lewis Azuli. Matt?
My YouTube channel is MattDMC, and my Instagram is MattDMC.
Yeah, don't follow me on any of that shit.
Greg has Instagram, diddly
I'm not
diddly.
interested in you, so
Greg's a bit of an enigma. You'll never know what Greg is up to.
you never know what I'm up to, mate.
Do you just say the N-word?
An enigma.
I probably won't keep that
An
in.
enigma.
You got it, tell us.
You gotta keep it in now, mate.
Yeah,
No editing.
fuck off. So yeah, what have you guys been up to this week?
Fucking ask me that question, man.
Dying in this heat.
I've been dying in the heat, playing shit video games. That's it.
Well, okay, we won't ask you that again.
Fucking boring life, man.
I cannot do anything in this heat because it's just I got no energy, man. I've been ill as well, so that's always that's interesting. Bro.
Yeah, I'm sweating one out.
Yeah.
You're always sweating one out,
I'm
mate, so
always
what-
sweating one out, but in the heat, man.
If you've never seen Matt in person and only on camera, I don't think it quite shows, but the man is like it's constantly like he's jumped in the bath, fully clothed, and got out.
Constantly looks like he's been in a sauna all day.
It's quite a sight.
This
to
is
behold.
just a roast. Hey.
Oh, if that doesn't sum up the sort of comedy level of this of us three, I don't
Trash
know.
comedy.
Just awful shit. Oh.
Yeah, when it comes to me this week, me and Greg have filmed 2 videos. The start of one video and another video. Both quite interesting.
Forgot.
Yeah, Greg's forgot. One's a personality test. And the
Which
other
I
one
passed.
is us making disgusting wine in a different way.
What
So
exactly
that's it,
is a
really.
personality test? I'm a little bit out of the loop with
It's
YouTube
like,
at the moment.
the personality test we did was like one of the 16 personalities or some shit, some boring ass shit. But yeah, it's funny because it's got me in it. So
I mean, I've heard of a patience test. I've never seen a personality test.
yeah,
They're just a
like
questionnaire.
yeah, it's like a questionnaire, and then it like just groups you in with a bunch of like people, and then you can see like, oh, who shares your personality.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
I got... Was it you or me that got Clint Eastwood?
I got Clint Eastwood.
Fucking... I got
Clint
some really
Eastwood.
shit...
And Tom Cruise. I got Tom
Yeah,
Cruise as well.
so...
Well, like your personality matches.
Yeah.
Clint
So
Eastwood.
now we find out that Greg is susceptible to Scientology.
Man, they got some good ideas. That's what I'm
Jesus.
No, they don't.
So Clint. So you filmed
No,
that.
it was him.
Oh, you're Clint.
saying. Yeah, I'm Clint Eastwood.
Oh,
yeah.
you're the good, the bad, and the.
Matt got I don't know, like Barbara Streisand or some shit like that.
She's cool.
Oh mate, I might have to do this and just jump on to see who I get.
It's pretty worthless.
Mr. Burns.
I'll be completely honest. We only filmed that one because I can't really stand at the moment.
Oh yeah, we mentioned it.
Stand making videos.
Stand making
No,
content.
but yeah, at the moment we need to. It's almost a test. I think we'll put it out, but it is just a test
Yeah.
because
Personality test.
I'll just say, if you're listening to this and you don't know who any of us are, Matt and Greg have their own YouTube channel, as Matt mentioned, Matt DDMC.
Best
He is
channel
also part of the Challenge Troop. Is that a word? Yes,
Yeah,
Troop.
Of course it is Troop.
Yes,
Basically-
Challenge Troop. Where's my challenge?
basically, if you've seen LA Beast, I'm the really bad, scraggy UK version of that, or at least I used to be.
I was once part of this group, but no longer. Moved on to do other things. I've spoken about that in the past.
Yeah,
But yeah, failed YouTubers is what we all are. I would imagine. You'd put us
Speak
in
for
that
yourself.
category. Oh nah, mate. Don't even try.
The thing is, though, is
I've never tried to be a
what-
YouTuber to fail.
Mr. Ban over here.
what? That's in my Twitter bio now.
What, Mr. Ban?
No, it's I'm the fat guy who ran on Lego, and then
Osama Ban Laden.
he got killed.
Man, he got banhammered.
No, it says the Lego thing, and then it says been terminated 3 times from YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Boom.
Normally that means you can't go back, but my channels are back, so I'm allowed back.
I just want to say you fuck YouTube, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Standard procedure.
That's the thing. I love making content and doing stuff, but YouTube is just the platform is just
shit.
It's awful. I have hopes that it will get better. You know what I mean?
So if you're listening to this from YouTube,
oh yeah, if you're listening,
subscribe.
YouTube, if the people down at YouTube HQ are listening, sort it out.
Yeah, it's all out, man.
Yes, our podcast is edited, but we might do live ones in the future, so stick around.
We may indeed. They are only edited, seeing as
they'll just be like half.
Yeah, if we didn't edit these, it would be so much just rambled shite.
Well,
so,
it's ramble shite, even without the editing.
Good point, but you know. Topic 1. Right, so for you guys to get to know us a little bit better, I know Matt and Greg have touched on the topic in their other podcast, the Mert and Gerg podcast.
Which is now dead because Lewis wants to jump in.
Yeah.
You invited me, man. Don't give me this shit. I'll quite happily leave.
All right.
I have to say though,
You can be the two skins. You want to be the two skins? That
talk
just
about
sounds
like
creepy.
shit names for a podcast. Mert and Gerg.
Threeskins, man.
Threeskins is the worst.
Threeskins.
Nah, 3 skins is the best. Well, it should be 2.5 skins, but.
Okay, so for you guys to get to know us a little bit better, we are going to talk about some childhood memories close to our hearts, school times. You know what I mean? Wasn't that long ago for me, but for you two old bastards.
It's been a decade since I left school now. It's crazy.
No, I left secondary school five years ago, so not too long back. But so where are we going to start? Are we going to start like really young, and sort of work our way up?
Well, I'll tell you what. Like, I'll start with a memory I have of my first day of school.
Your first day of school.
So
secondary or primary?
Primary. So this is my first day ever of any school. So it's infant school.
I remember.
I got to infant school, and
How do you remember that far back?
No, I remember it because he told me.
Christ.
No, so we have our first PE lesson on like okay. So
on your first day of school.
On my first day of school, we have a PE lesson. We have like a. You have to get changed, and we're going to go out and show you the field and like all the stuff like you know, like the places where you're going to do exercise and shit.
Well, we're going to make it work.
But there's one kid, and he just strips completely naked.
Why are you trying to say? Why are you talking about yourself in third person?
Mate, I wish it was me.
What, like he got changed into his PE gear, went out and got naked, or he was getting changed and got naked?
But then people took the piss out of him for doing that for like the rest of his life.
Oh my
it's like
God.
he never lived it down.
That's the thing about
Imagine
school.
that.
I don't know if like American culture works the same, but like in like English schools, that one little thing that might not have even been your fault or was completely taken out of context was your nickname or your life for the next 10 years.
My biggest one that I had at school was until I was in secondary school. I think it was like year 10 or whatever, so I was like 14 or so. And the teacher basically... I stunk, okay? I didn't
What?
Okay,
Elaborate.
Elaborate. Okay.
Stunk.
I just didn't wash for a while.
How old were you? 14?
So I was like 14. I stunk, and the teacher called me out
That's
in front of
fair
class.
enough. No.
And said go to the bathroom
No.
and go wash your armpits. And I was just like.
No.
Were you called like pits?
No one made a name for it, but everybody just took the piss out of it.
I never heard that one.
I never talk about it because obviously it's just like.
Dude, you can't.
Oh, shit.
I mean, it wasn't. I mean, we weren't in school that far apart from each other, but I cannot imagine a teacher saying that.
Oh,
to a
she
kid.
was.
'Cause I was sort of that part of that bratty generation where it was like if a teacher did anything, sort of, you'd be like, well, I'm gonna tell, and you're gonna get the sack. And you just openly, kids would openly say that to teachers.
We never
like,
ever had that.
so teachers wouldn't say nothing.
I'm old enough to remember being smacked on the back of the head by a teacher, and it
Really?
was okay.
I never had that.
They also used to they probably did it for you as well, but if you weren't listening, they'd slam a massive book onto the desk next to you and make you jump out your skin.
I remember.
Did you ever have anything
No,
like
I think
I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong.
That bit's fine unless you got like a heart condition or something. But
That's funny.
Only distinct memory I sort of have of sort of I was being bollocked in like primary school, and this teacher was waving a big massive like bulky whiteboard pen in my face. He's like wagging it and he threw it at my face, like bruised my like forehead, and he felt so we laughed, and he was just like, I'm gonna just drop this, and it's like, and I was like,
Please
okay. He just threw this pen at my like head, and I was like 6 or 7. I was like, what?
Fair play to anyone who becomes a teacher these days.
Yes.
Back in the day, I bet there's all these old teachers that became teachers to smack kids. Think about it, though. Think about it. You know,
Trunchables of the world.
There's gotta be some people that are like, oh man, I don't like a job like that. I hate that job. I like to smack kids. And now they can't. And then they're like 60, and they're like, 5 years till retirement. I just can't smack kids.
I'll tell you a good story. This was like one of my first days at school as well, I remember, and we had ICT, which I don't know if it's the same, but it's like computers. And we had this teacher called, I won't name him because God knows if he's still there, but like all the girls are sat on one half of the room, all the boys are sat on the other, and we're just chatting, and all the girls, because obviously you're in year 7 and you want to make a good input, but we didn't, you know, and we're just talking. And he sat staring at us. We're like 10, 11 years old. And he's given us all this like evil eye. And he just, and we all clock and we're like, okay, right, okay, we're going to go. And he's like, do you want to know why the male race are going to be dead? Just like that. And we're like 11 and we're like, what? And he's like, you're not listening. But look at the girls over there. They're ready to learn. You're not listening. You're going to go out into the big bad world. You're not going to get jobs. You're going to be homeless. And you're going to die. And like, for one, looking back, it doesn't make sense. Because how does a female sort of species... How do they move on without the males? But as an 11-year-old, that's sort of like... And you could tell like he'd have killed us all if he... But he was just... There's so much this pent up like... anger and rage.
To be honest,
it scared the shit out of me.
With regards to you, he wasn't far off.
Oh no, totally right. But like, you go into secondary school like fresh faced, like I can't wait. Like I'm a big boy now. I'm gonna learn all these, and then they just don't care, and like you're sort of mollycoddled as like primary school. But then you go up there and they're just like, nah, we're gonna treat you like a 16-year-old. And we're gonna bollock you, and we're gonna try and throw the real world in your face. But as an 11-year-old, to have that like shouted at me, sort of really.
That's the thing. I think that honestly,
like,
that must be one of the only things teachers can do now. Like,
if
someone's bullying someone else, if I was a teacher, I know this is harsh to say, but if I was a teacher and someone was bullying someone else and I saw it, I'd just be like, I know you bully other people because your family don't love you. They all hate you, and you have to project the beatings you get on your parents that other children hear.
The issue for me is that okay.
Oh God! This is supposed to be an entertainment.
I've just conceptualized this really awesome idea. Okay, so you're a teacher. You got a shitty kid, bullies the other kids. You know he's got a violent father. So what you do is you're like, okay, I really want to beat this kid, but I can't.
Oh, I know.
His father can. So what you do is you call up his dad, and then you're like, your son, he's been beaten. So like you find out what like his dad really hates. Like maybe the dad really hates like beating girls, so you phone him up and go, your son's been beating women. It's like, I can't believe that such behaviour will be allowed. And then the dad's like,
my God,
he won't be beating anyone tonight.
The dad comes in and drags him away by the ear, and he's like, oh Dad, I'm sorry. He's like, you save it for home. And the teacher stood in the window with that smug look on his face.
God, we're never going to get sponsors.
Dude, yeah, that was bad.
No, it's funny.
Right, we've touched on, for some reason, I don't know why.
Can I just say that we don't actually endorse anything that we said. We're only joking around. We're comedians.
I can say the same for me and you, but I don't know about Greg sat next to me.
I'm being serious.
Yeah, totally serious. No, right, for some reason, I don't know why, we sort of subconsciously jumped into the dark side of school for some reason.
Let's talk about nice things.
What funny memories do you have? Just something off the bat, if I said to you, what was the funniest thing you ever saw at school? It's just out the back.
A kid completely landed on the top of his head when someone gave him the bumps. There was about 8 guys around this guy. It was his birthday, yeah? They were all chucking him so high, but like holding him. So like his waist was like poking out, like like an upside down V every time he flew up. And then one time they let go of him, and some guy just held onto his arm, and he went straight down on the top of his head. Oh God! I honestly don't think I saw him after that. He went so high onto the top, just like he got tombstoned.
Oh, bro.
Fuck that.
So yeah.
I think any funny stories that we're going to mention, or it's always about injuries. Always. When I think back, when I saw it, it was horrendous. But thinking back, it was hilarious. I'm still friends with this guy now. His name's Steve. He won't care me.
Hey, Steve!
But let's say he's a little bit unstable. And we're sat in maths,
love you,
right?
Steve.
I love this man.
Steve
right?
Oakins.
I went to college with him and everything, man. He's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I like him already.
This other kid who I'm still friends with now is flicking him with a ruler. And he's like, you better fucking stop that right now. And he's still flicking him with a ruler. And so Steve grabs this pen and just slams it into this guy's hand. And his bluey red blood just starts pissing out.
Oh, God!
And we're all sat there like, what the fuck? And he slams his pen down and just looks back at the board like, fuck, told you, man. And like, mate, it was just the stuff that kids do.
That's pretty badass.
They do have like a
Brutal,
sort of
man. But I
do now, fucking deal with it later.
Oh yeah.
Attitude, don't
Oh yeah. Plenty of I remember one time sitting in a history.
We love you, Steve. Please.
Yeah, Steve, mate, you're the best. I remember one time sitting in a history lesson. I imagine for some reason I always think of this as a funny story, but I think if I told you guys, I bet this was a common occurrence. I'm just sat in a history lesson and the teacher's like waffle, and he just looks over to the window and he's got this like open jaw and he's like, oh my God. And we're like, what? We all look out the window. There's a kid just setting a bin on fire. This bin is like roaring, and he's just stood in front of it like.
We used to be the kids that set the bins on fire.
No, we didn't. Greg.
We never did anything bad.
The history teacher burst out the door, and he didn't know what to do, and he's like, and he just kicks the bin over, and he's like trying to kick it, and all these other teachers flock out, and they're all just like kicking this bin, like, what do we do? And
why did you think that might be a normal occurrence?
I don't know, because when you tell me about stuff that happened when you were at school, you were like the stuff that you guys got up to at school was way crazier than anything I did at school.
We used to...
and because you grew up with, like you said, that CKY jackassy, and at my school it was like, to be cool you had to be snobby, and it was like, no, you're weird.
I guarantee you everyone I went to school with has some sort of scar or burn on their skin that they made whilst they were at school.
Yeah, I've got a scar from the school.
There used to be this thing when I was in school. We used smileys. Yeah, you get like a clipper.
Yeah.
Like honestly, people would light it up and then just fucking stab it into people that they didn't.
Did
know.
you have weird games?
I had one on the back of my neck for ages.
Fuck you, Laura, you cunt.
Did you have those weird games that spiraled from that? Like, but you know what I mean? Like, it would be like no. It would be just bizarre shit, and I don't even know how a kid would come up. Like, I remember the first I went out with my mates, and one of them just goes like, Star Wars, and they all shout Star Wars, and I'm sat around like, what? And they're like, you get burnt now. You didn't say it. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Totally
it was a thing, like, you would have to say something. They would always do it.
They're just trying to find a way to burn you.
Weird routines and rituals that kids come up with.
Yeah,
and then you'd have to sit around a park bench and go, Star Wars, otherwise you'd go home with a burn. Mate.
I love that. I miss that a lot.
That's the best thing about being
just the stuff kids come up with.
I don't like the burn, but the thought of the idea.
Burning?
The burning. Yeah, that's it.
Burning.
Burning someone else feels better than getting burned.
Oh, yeah, anything.
See, you got to take part. That's a joke.
Jesus.
Alright, before we move on to the next bit, I want to tell a story about my first day at secondary school. Because...
Bro, you've had some really bad first days.
I'll tell you what happened. I go to secondary school,
and
I'm walking with my brother, my lovely brother, who is 2 years above me at school, who's taking me to show me the ropes and stuff. We get to the local shop, and his friend comes out with some eggs, and it's like, and they're like, they're all like looking around, and then they stare at me and they go, "Can you look after these?
Look after the eggs."
Yeah, until we find you. And it's like, oh, And I'm there like my first day. I'm like,
Until we find
shit.
you like some sort of gang check. We're gonna come up to you
The
when
thing
you
is,
least expect it.
like we were at that age where you've just had that growth spurt, and we're all like much taller than you, much more intimidating.
Towering down me.
How far apart are you guys? Only like 2-3 years. Or something,
2 years and 1 day.
Yeah, 2 years, 1 day.
Oh yeah, shit. That's weird.
So,
So yeah, it's not like so. What on his first day you'd have been what like 14?
it was about 14.
You were 13.
Because he'd have been 11, so you'd have been like 13
Yeah,
turning
so-
14.
thing
Yeah,
is,
it's just the first day.
yeah. So
part of it.
I
So back to the eggs.
but the thing is that I go through school like normal, and then I was like, I think I was in French class, and suddenly like a teacher comes in with like this what's the word, like a sort of like stern stare.
Yeah, okay, that'll do.
Yeah, and then and she's like, Gregory, and then I'm there like, like when you got that camera thing.
Well,
where,
the
like,
background goes really
background,
fun.
that was me.
Did people call you Gregory at school? Like
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
register
Well, no,
and
if
stuff,
I
was
was
it Gregory.
Yeah, no. Well, my friends wouldn't, but the teachers would.
Is that on your?
If they were
Like, is
pissed
that
off
on your? Is that
yeah,
your
yeah.
actual Gregory?
That's my actual name.
Okay.
Gregory. So
Shit in it.
Yeah,
I quite
so,
like it in
I-
a weird way. I don't know why.
Go on, Nick.
Go on, egg boy.
I
French
will go.
class.
So they take me aside and I go into this. I think it's maybe the principal's office or something. And Matt's there, and a bunch of his friends are there, and they're like, "I've heard you got some eggs in your bag," and I'm like,
You grassed him up.
I did not.
Matt
grasp
didn't
it.
grasp.
I
Well, Matt
never-
says he didn't grasp.
I would never grasp.
Did
it.
you have a plan for these eggs,
Yes.
or was it just to give them to him to stitch them up?
No, we were gonna egg the shit out of like loads of people.
Right.
Yeah.
But
And one of your friends just buckled under the
problem
pressure.
is
and was like,
if eggs were getting thrown everywhere, they would know it would be us, and then they'd search our bags and they'd be like,
well,
"Well, you got the eggs."
even at 13, they knew you were the eggers.
Dude, I got suspended so many times at school.
Fair
Yeah.
enough, man.
I was Matt's little fucking smuggle.
So what happened to you, your egg mule?
Well, they let me off because they were like, I can see that your bro has just sort of forced you into it.
He's
Then
a bad influence.
Matt got in trouble, I didn't. And
Yeah.
I spent the rest of my day, pretty chill. So.
Yeah, and I spent the rest of my day being sent home. Dude, I got suspended. I probably hold the world record for being suspended the most times without actually being kicked out.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Seriously. See, I never got in any trouble like that at
Really?
school. Like nothing. Like I did silly stuff, but I never was like sent home.
I think I only got
suspended
suspended
or
once.
People got suspended so much in our school that inclusion didn't actually exist at the time.
anything. Oh really?
Like in the school.
Yeah.
Do you know what inclusion is?
Yeah.
It's where they just send you
They
to
send
a
you
room,
sit you in a room
by,
on your
by
own in a
yourself,
booth.
which is way worse than being suspended. So
Oh,
they
yeah.
started giving me that, and then I was like, oh,
Gonna stop dicking around now.
This is
That's 10
way
times
worse.
Anyway, it's now time for a word from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Ted Dinkle, CEO of Coma Travel. Do you hate flying? Have to cram yourself with miniatures to get through the experience? Well, with Coma Travel, you'll board and we'll pump you with the finest sedatives to send you off to Sleepy Land. Our founder, Sleepy the Dwarf, has been working long and hard for five years. Just listen to our happy customers. I don't know where I am and I feel funny. Sign up today at comatravel.org.uk.com. Topic 2.
What's the next topic?
Phobias.
Shit.
All of our own
Irrational fears and phobias.
We talk about our own ones. We'll probably in the future talk about other ones that are funny, but if we just...
Okay, yeah, I have
Okay.
actually got it up on the laptop here. So I have a really weird phobia.
It's good.
It's known as the it's called casadastrophobia.
Casadastrophobia.
It is the fear of, it's the irrational or pathological fear of falling into the sky.
Falling into the sky.
Yeah.
Into the sky.
What, like just
No.
so flying.
Like as if gravity's just gonna
Yeah.
go the other way around. and
flying.
you're gonna no,
It's not
no,
flying.
Not flying. Like falling into space.
Great, right, so imagine if someone had a switch for gravity and you just turned it off.
and you just went up.
So think
yeah,
about
so you can't control it, you're just
Okay,
you
so
just
like
go out
when
into
people
space.
are like
I get
on
ya.
top of a building,
but in what
and
world
then
would
they're
that
like, oh
come
shit, I'm
about?
gonna fall off. That I have that, but it's like
The other way
I'm
around.
gonna fall up.
It makes no
I
sense.
don't want to fall up.
Well, no, it started because
What? This is bizarre. This really is irrational, man.
It's weird irrational fears.
That really is irrational.
So yeah, so I started having it. I started having it when I was like, I think I was like 16.
It's so exactly the same time you started smoking.
Yeah. So I started smoking weed, and I've always had like
that makes sense now.
I've always had
That
like
makes
sinus
sense.
and ear problems, and I've always had balance problems in my ear. So I get really, really baked one day, and I'm having a bit of balance issues, and we don't make it any better. So I'm there, and it's like, I don't know, it's like 2 a.m. I'm baked as fuck. I'm on this field. I'm just staring up at the sky, and then the stars just start moving and shit, and I'm like, oh shit, and then I feel like I'm falling, and I'm like, ah, and then the next thing I know, that's it, boom.
Now he's got a fear
Scared
of
of
pretty much just looking up. He can't look up.
Oh no, I can do it.
I get that though. No. I get that. Like whenever, like Toronto is a perfect example. If I'm like, I look up into that doesn't bother me. But if I'm somewhere with really, really tall buildings and I look up, I get dizzy and shaky and I like.
Yeah, I get that.
I feel like I'm gonna fall over. I really hate it.
High ceilings are the worst for me.
Yeah,
I don't know about that, but really, really tall buildings.
When we went to Italy, I was laughing in every place we went into because I was like, Greg would hate this because they got like fucking
It's so bad. Like I have to like stay near the walls.
Yeah.
Or like hold on to chairs or shit.
Yeah. When we went into that cave, you were walking around the corners, weren't you?
The thing is, I'm completely aware of it. I'm completely aware of how rational it is, but it just doesn't go away.
Yeah, well, that's what irrational is, isn't
I
it?
guess so.
Go on, what you got?
Irrational. I wouldn't say, right, this is the only one I can sort of think of off the top of my head. I wouldn't say it's irrational because it could happen. It's not like falling into the.
Oh well, we'll just talk about all phobias then. Because especially the one I'm thinking of, you won't get hurt in this country from it.
Oh, what, spiders?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, that's like, I wouldn't say that's an irrational fear though. But I don't like any spiders.
Biting, yeah?
I don't
Remember
like
that
them.
tarantula,
Even like the big water spiders you get in your house.
You did really well.
Yeah. Do you know what it is though? That's why it's weird as well, because sort of big, like your standard tarantula, if I was to tell you to think of a tarantula, that doesn't really bother me that much. I still wouldn't go near it or hold it. But
how much to hold a tarantula?
Oh God, I don't know, man.
How much to put it on your face?
Oh no, I wouldn't. I could not put it on my face.
Would you be like Dan Stern from Home Alone?
Oh yeah, man. No, I think I'd just be so scared that I just would either faint or be sick.
They actually edited the screaming afterwards.
Yeah, because he couldn't have screamed with that thing on his face.
Sorry, go on with your.
No, yeah, spiders is my main phobia, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's irrational. Yeah, I'm not going to meet a. Do you know? Actually, no. Speaking, if we're trying to be current, I read the other day that you know those dinner plate spiders. 2 of them had been released in like Derbyshire or something. Yeah, and they were like wandering. Did you see that?
Yeah,
they've been sighted around him.
Yeah, they've been sighted.
Oh, they called like. Shut up.
Man, we get huge spiders.
No. I don't know what it was, but it was.
Spiders.
Yeah, it was. They'd been. I can't remember exactly how they'd been released or something, or like someone had bought them and they had babies and escaped or something, or like a pregnant one had escaped. But they're dinner plate spiders. I think they're called like bird-eating spiders or something, which says a lot. The name's in the title, isn't it? It's a bird eater.
Just give me a great idea.
I think an irrational fear that I have that I think about and it's like that's so dumb. That's probably never going to happen, but and you're going to laugh. I know you're going to laugh.
I'll try not to.
But it's quite serious. It's being attacked with acid.
Oh, shit.
No, because obviously I'm from Southampton.
I shouldn't
and
laugh.
I'm not joking. Every like month, someone is stabbed or there's like... I remember I was in town once with a friend and we walked past a bar and there's all this police tape everywhere and there's this liquid on the wall, on the floor, and we're like, oh, someone's been bottled or something. Oh, no. And I got home and that, like, an hour before we got there, someone had acid thrown in their face.
I remember you telling me
and
that.
it can just happen
horrible.
to anyone. And it's like, when I'm walking around town, like, late at night and I think about it, I start fucking, like, putting my head down and shit. Because I'm like,
this is why we call Southampton scum.
Oh, no, mate, yeah, Southampton's horrible.
Did you guys...
It's just so, like, but it could happen, but it's dumb to be scared of that and to walk around.
It's got quite bad recently.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like, it's sort of on the rise in a weird way. People do it, and it just
the way I see it
out.
Like this. Yeah, if it just gets one side of your face, two face.
Two-face.
That'd be cool as fuck.
Right
Flip a coin.
Oh no, but it causes. It's much more than just the way you look. Like it can make you
I
blind.
know
and
we're,
shit.
we're obviously only joking about it. I think
Yeah.
acid attacks are one of the worst things. I think
It's disgusting.
anyone who's thrown acid in someone else's face should be fucking locked up for a
Yeah,
very
mate.
long time.
And the trouble with it is when it's random. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
half the people use, and
That's
it's
so
like
harsh.
I was just walking down the street and it just happened.
You
It's
literally are
Jesus
just like
Christ.
there's when it comes to stabbing, when you if you die from stabbing, obviously you die. But if you survive from stabbing, you don't get that many complications.
No.
You get, like,
occasionally,
not long
yeah,
time.
okay.
Yeah, you're
Do
usually
you know what I mean?
fine.
Like acid attack, blindness for life.
Yeah.
Loss of
nerve damage,
extreme
stuff
like
that.
disfigurement.
It's
like,
crazy. Did you
But
guys
the
see?
one
Sorry.
thing, just in case, if you ever get acid attacked, wash your face instantly, and it actually can completely revert,
Really?
like, stop it from damaging you. You've got to wash it off like instantly. Like if you really.
But the
just
trouble
get
is, if
carried
you're in
forward
town
with
in
you
a
all the
park
time.
or something, where are you going to do that?
The water fountain.
Fair enough.
Or if there's like some kid with like a bottle of water, give me that
What
kid.
about pee?
Pee.
Ooh.
Does it work like a jellyfish sting?
It could
I don't know.
maybe pee.
That's a perfect segue into my irrational fear.
Oh, go on. What's your irrational fear?
Jellyfish. Hate them. Hate them.
Fair enough.
And you drew one on my leg. With
I mean, it's
glue.
not. I mean, what sort of consists as an irrational fear? Because I mean, yours is definitely irrational because there is no point where the gravity is going to flip.
Well, you don't know that.
But yours is irrational because you're probably not gonna meet a jellyfish, but you could, and it could happen.
The only time
It's just
I would
very
ever meet
unlikely.
a jellyfish is if I willingly go to an aquarium.
Yeah.
It used to be so bad. Greg used to put clips on YouTube of jellyfish up on the television, and I would have to leave the room. And my body like stiffs up, and I feel sick and
It's
stuff.
like if I want to watch what I want to watch on TV, I just put jellyfish.
But now I
Exactly.
couldn't care less.
I'll tell you what,
seeing
though,
them. But if I held them or was swimming with them and get caught in the tentacles,
I
Yeah,
kind of
fuck
get
that.
that because I don't really like the sea. Sort of freaks me out.
Yeah, the sea's just fucking evil.
It freaks me out.
That's
there's
another one of-
nothing irrational about
Yeah,
being scared.
No, that's not. But I can
We
understand.
were born
what
on
you-
land, we die on land.
No, it's just you don't know what's in there, and like I try and watch like these sea, like you know, like Blue Planet and all that, and it just I can't get into it because it just freaks me out because it's like it's a different world, isn't it? And it's so
it's
if you go swimming in the sea, you can't,
Yeah.
especially in England, you can't see
No.
anything. You're
It's-
treading on
it's scary.
shit that you don't know what it.
And then every time
Oh.
that there's one shark in the area, no one goes in the sea because there's obviously thousands of sharks there, but there isn't.
Nah, sharks everywhere, man. Don't
That-
fuck sharks.
Oh, Greg, you don't like sharks, but you did see a pile of dead sharks once, just in a.
Ah, man,
A
yeah.
pile
we were-
of dead
Yeah,
sharks.
man. I was walking.
What?
I was walking by this bay.
This
and,
counts because
and,
we're
and,
scared of sharks.
and the sea was out. Okay, the tide was out, and this is horrid smell. And it's probably the most putrid, disgusting smell I've ever smelled in my life. And I was like, where the fuck is that? So I look over, because there's like a barrier, and I look into this creek, and there's just a pile of dead sharks.
Sharks.
They're like, and they're about,
Where was this?
maybe like 2 foot,
Near here.
3 foot.
I didn't think sharks came anywhere near.
No. What we think
No
would
idea
have
where they
happened,
came
They
were
died
probably-
far out
They're,
and
no,
washed
they're
up.
probably caught and then just lobbed on
Yeah,
them.
that's what I think, is that they were caught and lobbed.
But there was just a
They,
pile of dead
literally, it
sharks.
was the most weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
So basically,
What
it was like
the-
Hakal.
Yeah.
You don't know what it is, do you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Fermented shark.
Fermented shark.
meat,
That's the
isn't it?
smell.
Is it as bad as Stromin though?
The smell?
Yeah.
No.
Or is it? Because I imagine it's sort of the same. Because Stromin is bad.
It's pretty bad. Have you ever tasted it?
I didn't
can't
taste it,
remember.
no, but I smelled it
Pussy.
too many times to it got. I think we did it like 3 times. Like we did it with TGF, then we did it on our own.
By the time I done it with TGF, I was sat there eating it normally, and these guys were like freaking out. But
Yeah.
it's because I was so used to the smell,
Mm.
and they weren't. So I get why other people are like freak out by it. But when you eat it, you're just eating salt.
I
and
still want to try it.
bones.
Sure,
I wouldn't mind trying it, to be honest.
There
Because I've
is.
heard the taste isn't that bad. It's just the smell.
There was a guy who commented something, I think it was on Instagram, and he said that there's a special version of surströmming which is extra smelly.
What is it
I
like
think
fermented for
they,
longer?
They must ferment it for longer, but I might message him and just be like, yeah, do you want I just wish smell-o-vision existed, because it looks like when people react to it, it's fake, but it's not. It really is.
I am really interested in what it smells like.
Oh, you haven't smelled it at all?
No, I've never even
Bro,
been near
it's
it.
such a mix of just...
Greg brags the fact that he has like no sense of smell. You will have a sense of smell.
Oh yeah, it's like really old rotten fish, and like imagine like if you hadn't taken your bin out for like a month.
It's like Bigfoot's dick.
It's like, can't be that bad.
But it's more the fact that it like doesn't go away, or like or you'd get used to another smell. And
Like, yeah, it's like,
but you don't get used to it. It doesn't go away.
You know when someone like who eats a lot of meat farts around you, and you're like, "Holy fuck!"
Oh yeah, man.
Like
The meat farts, man.
like a lactose intolerant fart, yeah.
Yeah,
And then you're just like, "Oh, this stinks," but you know it goes away.
that's true.
You know it like dissipates, but it doesn't.
So it just doesn't go. Like you keep sniffing it because you're like, I'll get used to it in a minute, and you can just smell it for an hour, and it's just as strong as when the can was first opened.
I'll still give it a go.
It's so bad.
So you don't like what was it again?
An irrational fear off the top of my head is probably an acid attack.
Acid attack. What was yours, Greg?
Falling into the sky.
Yeah.
Falling into the sky.
A man's jellyfish.
In the news. Now I think we should discuss current affairs. What's happening on planet Earth? Matt, you've been looking on the World Wide Web.
Literally, only just read it.
It's what's happening in this great world that we share. Come on.
The FDA have decided to crack down on the use of the word milk because an almond can't lactate.
He's got a point though.
What?
They call it almond milk, don't they?
Yeah, but
What's
it's not
that?
milk
What's the
though, is it?
FDA?
Food.
It's like it's like the people in the US that are like, oh yeah, you can eat that, or you can't eat that. You know what I mean?
So what? I don't understand. I don't get it.
Right,
What do you mean?
Have you ever had almond milk?
Yes.
Oh, I think we gave you some
Yes.
in one of Paul's vlogs. So basically, almond milk is made.
No, that was
by,
rice milk.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
We're gonna make some of that soon, aren't we, Greg?
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
This website is very bad for my phone.
Yeah, so almond milk obviously is it's basically just shit made from almonds. It's not actually milk.
There's no dairy.
So what they must be they must be getting pissy that it's not actually milk and they're calling it milk.
I mean, the things to get sort of jumped up and annoyed about, like you just sat around your office. What can we do today?
yeah, but think about
Let's
it. Like,
crack down on the almonds pretending to be milk.
That is like what half of government is, though, isn't it?
Why?
It's like, oh well, we're getting all this money and we need to spend it because otherwise we're gonna have to lower taxes. So it's like, what can we fuck up this time?
It is milk. It is.
No, it isn't.
But it is because it's a milk substitute.
Yeah, but you're not getting
Yeah,
one.
where's an almond tea? You ever seen an almond tea?
You've never seen an almond tea.
All right.
He's angry.
Just shit like that just bugs me because it's just so pointless. Go on, right? So we're not allowed to. It's not almond. If you're a regular almond milk drinker, you can't call it almond milk anymore, or the FDA are gonna arrest you.
It's almond juice.
Almond juice.
So that was interesting.
That sounds shit. Almond juice.
Right, go on. What else really important has happened in the world?
Okay, so a bloke, yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be important.
So this is from an Australian website. So
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
say what you think about this. There's a man who fucked a horse,
Sounds pretty Aussie.
and he said that the horse gave him consent by winking at him.
I mean, like okay.
When did this happen? Okay, right. So the horse winked at him. I mean, this is gonna sound bad, right? But in terms of bestiality, do you need consent? Because it's illegal anyway. You can't have sex with in the same way that you couldn't have. Oh, this is consent.
Yeah, does it? Yeah, but how can a horse consent? It's a fucking horse.
Yeah.
Well,
like,
the way I see it,
The way the horse sees it is like.
they're always
they're
making.
not thinking,
They're always making fake horses for horses to fuck.
I mean, it's not like the horse is gonna sit in the barn and cry, like, and be like, "You never guess what happened to me today." Like, he's gonna get a bit annoyed.
Can't keep that in.
Yeah,
that's fine.
He's gonna kick you, be a bit annoyed, and then carry on about his
The
day.
thing is, though,
in
is
fucking hail.
I've
or
seen
whatever.
a horse. Oh fuck! I've seen a horse's asshole.
We can't keep that in.
You know.
Go on.
I can't
Go on. In person or...
So you've seen a horse's arsehole, right?
Yeah, but...
What's that got to do with it?
Like, a human penis isn't going to make that much of a difference.
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess like those people like shove their hands up.
Yeah, I was about to say, when horses are giving birth, they fucking up to their elbow. They put their whole
and
arm
then they
in there.
inseminate horses with them long sticks with the horse cum on them, don't they? Does that count? Is that
so? What we're basically saying is,
but what I don't get though is it doesn't really matter if the horse consents or not. You just fuck the horse.
Yeah,
it's just like
you can't get consent from something that you're not allowed to have sex with. Full stop. I mean, I don't know the laws in Australia. They seem pretty laid back, but over here, basically what we're saying is that it's all okay.
No, it's not.
No, to be fair,
because the horse wouldn't feel it.
It's quite an
full stop.
Aussie thing because my girlfriend's from Australia, and she says that there was a local zoo when she was a kid, but they had to shut it down because someone was having sex with all the animals. And this is legit. This is such an Australian thing to do: is fuck animals.
Like this little, I'm just imagining this little koala bear, just like, right. So yeah, if you are Australian and you want to have sex with a horse, I don't know.
Just make sure it winks at you. Make sure it winks at you first.
Sure it winks.
Does it matter the fact that the horse is only 2 years old?
I think that makes it a little bit worse.
Okay, so now it's a baby horse.
But is that a baby horse? Like how do they grow?
It's a Shetland pony.
Because like a cat is like it's like a little kitten, and then the next thing you know, it's going around fucking everything.
Yeah, after like a year, it's massive. I just got a kitten, and it's like 4 months old, and it's already like waving its ass in the air, and it wants a shag. It's really weird.
They literally they're straight up.
Yeah.
It was caught on CCTV with it.
What?
Imagine being the guy that has to go through that footage.
They caught him, and then like they rang the police whilst he was in the stable.
Oh, whoa.
Would you, if you were the CCTV guy, would you have called straight away as soon as you seen it, or would you have just watched it, waited for it to unfold, and then called somebody?
Yeah, I would have waited for it to unfold.
I'd have watched, man.
And I would have pressed.
I
would have pressed record. Not for my own personal, but I put it on Live Leak.
Oh, bro.
So yeah, basically, he just said the filly smelt his crotch and winked at him. So he decided that meant let's have a go. Okay,
right.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Have sex with a horse if you want, but just make sure it's not
don't.
2, and make sure it winks.
Yeah, you gotta make sure it winks.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And if you're even if you're gonna have sex with like a human, make sure they wink first. No wink, no consent.
Oh my god.
No wink, none in the stink.
Right, we've been so factual right now. Matt, are there any other really important current affairs that are going on?
Define important.
Well, I don't care what Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin are up to. Are there any other people having sex with animals?
No.
This is the important
that
stuff.
definitely
in my
is
opinion.
happening, but it's not being caught on CCTV.
This is the stuff that I think we need to be like the people that bring you the news that isn't on BBC at 10. You know what I mean? We need to bring you the stuff. We all know Putin and Trump are bad, but what's going on with the ponies in Australia?
Okay, there's I'm trying to find something that hasn't got anything to do with sex. There's a boy who was 13 who's hauled into court for assault after firing a McDonald's chip through a straw. This was in London.
That's amazing.
He's in court.
I mean, I always used to do the thing where you take you take one end of the straw wrapper off and blow it, but I never thought to fucking put a chip in there. That's incredible.
It's like the tiniest potato cannon of all time.
This has just made me think, like, going back to the acid attack stuff.
Oh god.
Do you think you can make like a thing for your mouth that you can store acid in, but it doesn't burn through into your mouth, and then you get a McDonald's straw and you go, and you can shoot acid at people?
Well, wouldn't it just like melt through the straw, just like straight away?
You know those lizards that shoot acid at people's eyes?
Yeah.
When they
What?
attack, does that? Yeah, have you seen them?
No, there's lizards that shoot acid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
so-
is it actually acid, or is it like something that's sort of acidy? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not
that
like
bad.
proper sulfuric acid,
Yeah.
is it? Like
Because otherwise, like, I don't see how
an animal could store an
there's no way
acid
an animal
that
could
powerful.
store something like that.
Yeah,
So what? So who did
they got,
this
sacks and stuff,
who did this
haven't
boy fire this chip at?
they?
an employee,
Just some woman.
just some woman outside.
But the thing is, right, it's reading into it a little bit more. It's, you know how news is at the moment, fake news. They've titled it that, but it's pretty much this guy hit a woman in the face with this chip, and then it led into a bust up, which means they got arrested for the bust up, not the chip in the
I'm
face.
just imagining like this
So,
massive.
do you know what I mean?
That's not news. You give a shit. It's like some
Oh,
idiots
mate.
just busting up.
I was expecting like this big punch up in McDonald's with like Ronald McDonald in the middle, like guys, come on, break it up. Just like this kid just like firing chips into like this crowd, like some sort of mass shooting.
Oh.
Well,
So
that's-
yeah, well, at least we don't have to worry about like that, I guess. Mass shooting.
What, shootings?
We just got to worry about people blowing fucking chips at you and asset attacks.
I know, but I mean, Donald Trump's coming over a lot and saying a lot of stuff about how we need to like up our, you know, he seems to take the mickey out of the fact that we don't have guns. Like, we don't even have guns.
We
over
do
there.
have guns though. It's like you can get hold of gun. Well, he's in England. It's just we don't give them to people in the city.
No, we
don't trust city
stab
folk.
each other. That's about it.
Out,
And throw acid
out
into
in
each
the
other's
country, getting a gun's piss easy.
Oh,
Yeah,
mate.
I think...
Everyone in their mums is packing round.
It's
here.
true though. It is true. Everyone out in the country is fucking loaded.
I honestly though, because I spoke to a guy from America and he was talking about. I was saying, I can't believe you guys have guns and that sort of stuff because it seems very easy to be able to kill someone. And he was like, yeah, but in England, you're stabbing each other to death.
Yeah.
That's so much more personal.
It is, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
You've got to be in their face.
That's probably why our murder rate is so much lower though.
Yeah.
Because you got to be like really
With,
like
with a
into
gun,
it,
it's
you know?
kind of like
bam bam.
You
it's
can
like
sit
playing
in
a
the
video
top of
game
a...
where you just shoot someone
Bam.
and
You
it's
can sit in the
that's
top of
it.
it. You can
Stabbing
sit
someone
in your...
must be well like you're stabbing him and you're like halfway through you're like, oh, I'm still stabbing him, but I don't know whether I really want to keep stabbing. With a gun, it's like, oh, I'm gonna shoot you and it, bam, dead.
You know, half these shootings in America are someone sat in a window, like from afar, like across the street.
so
Whereas here,
bad,
to stab someone, you got to get into a position first where you are, like in someone's personal space.
You're
pretty
literally
horrid, isn't
like this. Well, you obviously can't see it. you pull them close to you with a knife in one hand, and you're just jabbing it into their stomach. That's just
Yeah,
mental.
But
that
it's one of the things like literally the only thing we can't get that Americans can is handguns. We can get you can get hold of any rifle and shotgun with a license in England. But you just can't get handguns.
I like the fact that they've made it difficult to do because I just don't want one.
Because handguns is like so easy to hide. Man, I can walk around like anywhere with a handgun. Shotgun? Not so
I don't
much.
know. I honestly though, I think if you're English and you're like, I can't believe why Americans still have guns and stuff. At least shoot one first.
Go to the
Because
country.
you
Go to
should-
the country and be like, oh yeah, we shouldn't have guns. And then
I'll tell you what though, what
Yeah,
I've just
boy.
thought of that really... I've shot guns. I went
Yeah?
to America and I went and stayed with a friend out there. He lives out in Georgia, like in the middle of the mountains. And like, I shot loads of guns. But I tell you what...
Does it feel good? Because when
it's weird, man, because like I'm thinking about all these like shootings that take place. You need some level of training to hit a target.
Yeah.
It's so hard to shoot a gun. Like you think it looks easy. There can be a target like a couple of foot in front of you, and you will miss.
Yeah.
And it's so there's got to be some
You're
level
sure
of
you're not just shit.
mate. They kick back on like you know when you see these films and they're just stood there with two handguns like bam. But you cannot do that.
Yeah, it's like
You shoot a handgun,
get
and if
22
you're
caliber, man,
not,
you
if
better
you're
do it
not
with that.
like properly straining, it will hit you in the face. Like
I've seen it on Fail Army. I believe you.
yeah, and the friend who I went and stayed out with, big up Thomas, he was shooting an AK
fat.
man. It was like knocking him off of his feet. Like he was like he had to lean like he was doing like the Michael Jackson lean like into it because it would like it's that powerful and it's just going everywhere. Like so,
It's just
it really does
scary.
make me think like half these people that shoot a lot of people from like this is like there's got to be some level of they must have learned that somewhere.
I want a gun. I might apply for a gun license. That'd be a good video.
So we went from boy shoots woman in face with chip to why guns and knives. See, that's the beauty of the podcast. We're just spiraling off.
I'm gonna stab one of you later.
Oh god.
That's pretty much my stories for the week. So I
Yeah.
hope you enjoy.
Yeah, well, that's alright.
If there are any topics, because I mean we're going to try and cover 2 topics a podcast. If there's anything specific that you'd like us to talk about, let us know in the comments. I will just stress again: make sure you follow us on social media. because that's where we're going to be, we're going to be talking about when we'll be doing podcasts. I'm going to try and get social media made for the podcast. I'm going to get a Threeskins Twitter and Instagram and all the good stuff. But make sure you follow our personal ones. My Twitter and Instagram is Lewis Azuli. Matt, what's yours?
Matt DMC for all. If you want to add me on anything, it's just Matt DMC.
And I'd advertise your Twitter, but you're not really very active on it, are you?
Twitter.
But your Instagram is Diddly Doobie, isn't it?
Diddly Doobie.
Which will probably be on the screen anyway.
Right, and I think that we'd like to end the podcast with a wise word from Greg. I think that's how we're going to end every podcast. I think Greg is going to teach us something insightful, or he's going to lay his wisdom on us.
Come on, give us some...
And we will end there. So Greg, anything, any wise words, any advice, anything. We're all ears.
It's alright. Like, I think it's a bit. Okay, it's a bit prejudiced to not have sex with people with AIDS, because your prejudice isn't against them because of their disease. Just wear a condom. Fine. That's wise words. I'm increasing the amount of people you can sleep with. That's wise. I'm helping.
I'm so glad this is over.
Oh, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
You've sat down and thought about that. Deeply. Yes, you have.
Can I have a chocolate? I've just seen you've got chocolate.